Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Last Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today I'm going to show you around two of my smuggling ships. Now these are both based on the same design externally, and what I've actually done is just broke the original one apart. That was this one, the Go Fast version, and broke it down into a doubled hull variant so I could carry and smuggle more supplies. So let's have a look around the fast one. Now the idea behind this with the hydrogen thrusters is imagine that the ship is being pursued or chased by another ship that is not atmospheric capable. This could simply skip within the atmosphere, cut across the planet, leaving the other ship to have to circle around the planet, allowing the ship to get away. And you can actually see what I've done up here at the front of the ship is I've added these thruster packs so it can stop just as fast as it can accelerate, and we've got a number of different thrusters around the craft that allow us to do that. So if I come down the side, you can see we've got these little winged arms, and on top and bottom of the hull we've got these rotary based turrets, so we can actually rotate these around, not up and down but left and right. We've also got a few tucked down the side of the hull in this compartment here, so we can do a little bit of broadside attacking, but the majority of it is just crammed with cargo containers. Now as we exit to the rear of the ship, you can actually see this is just a very cheap sort of external cockpit here, so you can actually run up, hop in and take off with the ship very fast. There's also an internally armored cockpit as well that is below and down in that hatch, so you can see we've got these really interesting sort of thrusters that I like the idea of how they come off to the side of the ship. Now that is the Go Fast model, so sometimes speed is not that crucial, you just need capacity to pack as many supplies and logistics into a ship as possible. And with this one we've got a double hull. The upper deck is for crew, maintenance, reactors and so on, and the lower deck is just complete with cargo containers. We can actually stuff this to the brim with stolen supplies or smuggled equipment, and we can just have an absolute field day in getting that across to another planet or an outpost and then smuggling it off. I've been watching a little bit of Firefly and watching some of their smuggling missions. I just really like the concept down behind it, but we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the ribbing on some of these designs here. So you can see we've got a basic engine bay cell, and just by extending some of the components out by using the half blocks, it makes these really nice lines of definition, and by colouring them in and contrasting them with a secondary colour, we've just got a really nice level of detail there. I've done a lot of that along the hull itself. Instead of just having a smooth flat hull, I've actually ribbed it out, brought it out in areas, retracted areas in, and then combined them with a little bit of colour. Now something I do like about having a double hull ship is how it actually ribs into each other. You can see at this component here, both of the hulls are actually tucking down into a central column area, and it runs along the length of the ship. We've also got two of the rocket pods on the side. They're not really super useful, and I tried to keep this as minimum weapons as possible. So let's actually take a look inside. Now it's quite a simple layout. The idea behind the ship is that it was some sort of cargo ship, a civilian vessel that the pirates have converted and modified for smuggling. And as we come into the back, we enter into the oxygen storage area where we've got a few tools and basic equipment that is on hand for the crew in the bridge. And now we've got the above board sort of area where all the supplies in this area are legit. And if we have a little bit of a look down to the below deck, this will be covered up by some sort of crate or something. I'm not too sure what we're going to do with that just yet, maybe a shutter or something. We've actually got where all the smuggled merchandise is going to be stored, and this goes all the way to the back of the ship full of large cargo containers, and hopefully this little cargo bay won't be found. And more importantly, a lot of these crates in here are not hooked up to the conveyor system, so it's harder for them to be found and smuggled off the ship by pirates or other things alike. So let's actually head back up into the cargo bay, and we'll continue to the back of this upper deck. So as we enter into here, we have the reactor room. We've got a button panel down below, as well as an airlock leading outside the ship. We've got one of the main reactors there in the center, and since we're using hydrogen, we're not actually requiring too much power for them engines, so that's a great little feature. As we come into the back, we've got the gyroscopes, as well as more cargo containers in this area that we could supply with different things for the ship, maybe a little bit of energy, uranium, or we could just keep more supplies in there and just maximize the capacity of our smuggling sort of payoff. But let's head back to the front of the ship where I'm going to pop into my body. I'm going to take this thing for a little bit of a spin. Now the idea behind this is a very fast acceleration, and if we have a quick look on the hood on the right, you'll just see how fast it is. So this is just a matter of seconds until we're actually at 100 meters a second, and the same thing counts for deacceleration. You want something that can change direction very fast, as well as adjust its angles. And you can see the gyroscopes are not super strong on this, but they're strong enough to make a difference, and as we accelerate, the side thrusters will actually kick in and we'll be able to move the ship around very effectively. Just a really simple and a ship that I quite like. I wish I would have continued it, maybe even finished it. Maybe I'll put it up on the workshop one day. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.